Hey, ladies, welcome back to the Power of Women podcast. I am your host, Tori Jae, and I'm joined by the beautiful
Taste the Stassies.
ladies. It's
I
always
always
a
laugh
pleasure.
when I say my name. I can't help it.
I love it. I love it. I like the title of it. I like the logo title.
Thank you. It was my rebirth.
We need it.
You know, I think I'm going to change it again after a few years when I kind of like get to a next stage and be like, Taste the superstar. I'm no longer star seed. I'm now like evolved, you know?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The transformation. It's like we get to grow. We grow together. We see the growth. I love it. Yeah. Ladies, thanks, and girl. You guys, we are jumping into something. I really want to know you guys' opinion about this as well. You know, and it's so normalized too, right? This is something that I grew up thinking like, you know, I feeling like I liked it, feeling like it felt normal, you know what I mean? To date up. But how do you all feel about dating older guys? Like, you all pay attention to the way men like to date young women. You can attest to the fact that you are different now than you were 5 years ago, than you were in your early 20s, than you were right after high school. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much growth that takes place from experience, from dating, just life in general, learning who you are, learning about yourself. So when I look at like this trend, you know, I said that earlier, it's not really a trend because men have been doing this for a long time. They love to date down. They love to date young women as young as possible before you understand anything. You know, and it's such a predatory thing that they do because it's like, you know what you're doing. You know why you dating a younger girl. Like,
right. And they say it so casually as well. Like, you know, I think there was a tweet one time, one guy said, I mean, any woman over 25, I'm not fucking with. And these times he's like in his late 30s. And it's like, hello, predator alert. He said, because what did he say? He said something like, they talk back too much or something like that. And it was just like, oh my days. Like, you just want someone young and impressionable that you can treat anyhow, talk to anyhow, that you can force your submission upon, that you can mold and kind of take away her self-esteem before she gets to any. Because think about it, as someone, I personally dated older men as well. Do you know what I mean? And you know that you, in that relationship, it's never equal. You're always kind of trying to prove yourself, and they're always constantly kind of shutting you down. If you realize, like, you're not really allowed to speak up much, and there's kind of like a feeling of gratitude that comes with dating them, I find. You know, like, they don't let you have you don't have a mind. They're shaping your mind for you, basically, you know. They're grooming the hell out of you. That's the word, literally grooming the hell out of you. It's a very unequal relationship. And oftentimes I ask myself, like, why is it that you even want? Now, as someone who had dated older men in the past, I look at them now, anytime I see them dating younger girls, I literally, you know, class them as those that are, there's something quite unstable about you. And I'm very predatorial as well, because you're going after these young girls because you think that they're impressionable, period. Right. Like, because I don't, because as being the age that I am at now, I don't understand it. Right. You know, I'm like, oh my God, why would you be talking to somebody that was like 25, 20?
How do I connect and relate to a guy that's that much younger than me? Like,
right.
How am I going to connect with you? So it's like, it already is telling of your level of maturity. Like, you're so immature and predatory that the women in your age bracket don't want you, clearly. They don't, you know,
and they're too much for you. They're you know, their self-assertiveness is too much.
Way too much. You know too much. You're too grounded in who you are, like, and you pick up on nonsense. But like, the younger that you are, you know, you're just so impressionable. You're just so vulnerable. And I think that it's a conversation that has to be had from young, because I remember, like, being in high school, it was always a cool thing to be able to say that you're talking to an older guy. Right. you know. Right. And then you also like the perks of the fact that depending on how much older he was, if he had a car, you know,
oh my God, right.
if he had a little job, he could do little small things and, you know, like little cute things that you appreciate when you're young. But it's like, it doesn't take much to impress a child.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And even if we're not talking about children, even if we're talking about girls that are like in their 20s, right? Still mentally and emotionally, your experience level is not the same, right? So
nowhere near.
You are, I'm not going to call you a child, but the experience is not the same, period. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this person, and you
way
also have to, we also have to consider the fact that men are groomed to be predators from young. So a lot of them have way more experience, you know, when they're your same age, you know, in terms of just being with the opposite sex. Girl, like their experience level is crazy. And then just learning how to manipulate women from young. So it's like, by the time you now consider the fact that he's already had that, and in addition to that, he's like 10 plus years older than you, girl, bye. Mm-hmm. You know, like, no, they're predators. They're predators, and it's toxic.
Right. And that obviously brings us to the point of like, another point that's been happening right now is Lori and Micheal. And everybody's talking about Lori and Micheal and the breakup. And of course, they're calling her a hoe because, you know, how dare she not want to be grateful that somebody wants her. Heaven forbid she decides that she doesn't want the relationship for any reason. She's absolutely entitled to change her mind. Weirdos, you guys are so weird. Like, what the hell? Like, what is like the abnormality of it that is just so normalized? But anyway, I'm just thinking to myself, you guys want to know, this girl is 25. Micheal is 35. He's already in predator territory again. Like, and now you are telling her that she's a hoe for leaving him, for not wanting to settle down. She's 25.
Right.
Why would she want to?
He clearly didn't settle down at 25. He wasn't ready at 25.
Clearly. He's 35 now and he's only just wanting to, like, no, she doesn't. She's so allowed to say, no, I don't want this. Why is she now the hoe? Why is she now being demonized? Why are you not seeing her? As far as I'm concerned, she's free from the predator. I don't care. Like, I've been waiting for that to kind of just like, give her freedom, give her space. And he has this persona as well of, oh, the nice guy. He's so lovely. Listen, oh God, she's 25 years old. Like, if anything, he's fully aware she can't be manipulating him and messing up his mind. No, and you don't even know why they broke up. No one's even asking. Like, you're just assuming she's a hoe. If oftentimes if a woman leaves a man, there's abuse or something, she's seeing things that are not aligning, there are red flags. Nobody cares because it's Michael B. Jordan, Hollywood's sweetheart or whoever's sweetheart. Right. She should be so happy that she has him and stay. You go and carry him now. She has left him for you.
Right. Right. People have actually been stressing me out. I'm glad you brought it up. Like the types of attacks that this girl receives just for like trying to live her life. And like you said, nobody knows what happened. Like it is very likely it could have been something terrible that happened. And it's also okay if it wasn't. And it was a simple like, oh, I'm not ready for all of this. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ready to get married, or you know, we're just not vibing the way I thought we were. Like, whatever the reason is, she is allowed to not want to get married to this man. Like, and it's confusing to me because men can be single all of their lives. But as a woman, it's like, again, your value was placed on your proximity to men. So if you are married to one, like your value goes up, but her, because she is confident in who she is, because she is dating, because she is living her life. And the sad thing is she's not running around like breaking hearts. Like she's not running around like doing the things that these men do. Like, but they demonize her so bad. They attack her so bad. I've had people, I've read messages and comments, people comparing her to Future. I've seen people.
Future.
Yes, girl. I've seen people talking about like, oh, look how she got him feeling. And it's like, it doesn't matter how he feels. If she doesn't want the relationship, should she, for the sake of his feelings, should she just say, okay, I'm not really ready and don't really know what I'm doing yet. I'm pretty young, but I'm just going to do it because everybody feels like I should. Like, what are we talking about?
Right. Right, man. And we do that a lot with girls though, but I think about it. I think, how many times have you been in a situation and somebody supposedly likes you, and there's always somebody, sometimes a woman as well, actually, and men in your ear, like, oh, but he likes you. So goddamn what? So what if he likes me? So because he likes me, I should now be like, okay, then.
You should bend over backwards.
Yeah. Be grateful. I'll be grateful for the attention even. Right. Like, no, I don't have to actually want that. Right. Like, why are my feelings not important? Why is it automatically, like, I've chosen I don't want this, but because of you, you think I should want it. And so they're like, see how he's feeling. Okay, me, that's it. I don't want it. I don't matter. Yeah. My feelings because
it's matter. An honor. It's an honor, obviously, for a man to like you and choose you.
Right.
But girl, God forbid one is liking you and you're not gonna like him back. What are you doing? You better like him back. And if you don't like him, you better learn to like him. Girl, folks are crazy. People are crazy.
No, like, that's exactly what it is.
It's like living in a
to like him.
I don't know what kind of, like, it's weird. It's like, are we in a dream? It's like waking up in a dream.
In a dream. Yes, one day we're gonna wake up and go, oh my God.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like a
psychedelic dream.
People are literally walking around like zombies, saying stuff like this, and then it's, you know, I know men are going to say something stupid because they just say whatever comes out of their mouth. But the women, I'd be like, come on, ladies. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Yeah. Come on.
And the things, but you have to realize that with the women, especially, right? The stuff that we say is so problematic because we are walking like Stockholm syndrome victims. Like, our indoctrination is just a different level of indoctrination. So there are people that I call white defenders within the Black race. I call them white defenders. Those are the ones that they're very much programmed to, as soon as you speak up, they're on the run to say, no, not all white people, you're lying, racism does not exist, those types. We have them in the female perspective as well, because they don't know anything. They're only regurgitating the programs that's been put inside it. So as soon as you speak about it, they're like, no, you know, this is exactly how it's supposed to be. And I think about even myself and how the programming had me. Like, I think I mentioned it before, when I must have been about 17 or 18, and I was in college, sociology, and it was the first time I'd come across feminism, like I said. And I remember saying, I'm not a feminist. The man is supposed to lead. What are you talking about? What kind of rubbish is that? You know what I mean? And it could have so easily, like, I don't even know when my mind changed. It just did. But yeah, that's the programming that is just normalized within us. It's like, well, no, I'm the one being the good person. I'm being the good girl, because that's all you know.
Right.
So yeah, man. It's real problematic. And I honestly, I question men now that date girls that are just significantly younger than them, because I see it as, you just want to feel like the man.
You have to.
Especially because when you hear them as well, and you say, if you find out the reasons behind them dating younger women as well, it's always such predatory, lack of self-confidence, insecure reasons. She won't talk about, you know, you can mold. I've heard him say, you can mold her.
You can mold her. I hear that all the time. That's the number one reason.
Just trust me, you can mold her. And then you can feel like the man, because you can puff up your chest with a young girl. But with someone your own age, we're mates. What do you mean? Like, do you know what I mean? And you're also, the older you get as a woman, even think about how old you were when you were 25 and now at 30, well, okay, let's say 23, because I'm 33, or just 10 years ago. Look at the difference in your mindset, in your understanding, just alone as a human being. So now you can see the difference in the relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, my 25-year-old self, she was a powerful, brilliant little girl, but there's so much that she still didn't know.
Right.
And I'm now even so much that I still don't know. Do you know what I mean? So you can now imagine that age difference in your relationship, and then the person saying that that's the reason they want the relationship with you.
Right.
Because you're a lot younger and more impressionable, because they're ready to just squash your brain and turn you. And that's what it is, because you now believe that this is your duty, or the way you're behaving within the relationship, you think that's how it's supposed to be. And it's not. And if you speak to most women, like their first partners or who date older men, their relationships are always like that. Even though they will say, oh, I'm pampered, he spoils me. Yeah, of course they do all of that stuff, because that comes along with it. And they're often very times insanely controlling, I find.
Girl.
In my personal, like in all my experiences, I don't know, I've never had one that is not like sickeningly controlling.
Yeah, extremely.
Because I feel like they feel like, oh my God, this little young tenderoni, I can't let her go. Like, you know,
and
so they choke.
And most of them are so trifling anyway. They know it'll be like 2 seconds before you find somebody else.
exactly.
So they just want to lock you up.
Like really control the life out of you. Like I think I've had people tell me where to go, not to go out before, like really been in really controlling our situations that I didn't even realize at the time. It's now that I look back and be like, God, that was so toxic. You know what I mean? And this is with people significantly older as well. I'm like, oh my God, like, how are you dealing with that? You know what I mean? Like someone is like, no, you can't go out. You make plans with your friends and you're not going. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like some real crazy shit. But because obviously when you're younger, you fight it initially, but then you kind of just go, okay, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why, to be honest, it's really empowering when I see the new generation of women, and especially little girls like Lori. Little girl, she's grown, but like when I see girls like Lori, it is so amazing to me. I feel like I can just exhale a little bit because I'm like, you girls are on the right path. Like, keep doing what you're doing. That's how you're gonna find, if you are looking for a specific type of love or whatever, trying to find yourself or whatever it is, the only way you're going to do that is by experiencing life on your own terms and being okay with that and standing firm in that. And I was in that, caught up in that last little generation of women, and you know, some of them still are today, but I was in that generation where, like you said, we're just taught to be good girls. You're taught, and what that looks like. And I allowed it to dictate so much of me, my behavior, my decisions. Girl, like I remember one of the guys I dated when I was in my 20s. Matter of fact, I met him when I was 19, girl. This fool told me he was like 5 years older than me. But come to find out, he was like 15 years older than me. And I was like 19.
Yeah, girl. Champion predators. That's how they roll. Yeah, always lying about their age.
And oh my God. Anyways, I don't got time. That's a whole nother episode. Yeah. But yeah, the point is you're so easily manipulated and you don't even see it because like, there's obviously a narcissist epidemic. So we don't have the same type of experience dealing with narcissism. And then when you come into that and you're dealing with older guys that are predators and more than likely a narcissist, there's no way you can even be prepared for that. There's no way you can be prepared.
You're like literally a prey in their spider's web for real. Like that's why they prey on you, because it's like this easy.
And you feel like you know what you're doing, but the reality is no, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Right. You don't.
Right. So honestly, I always say that. Like, and it's funny because I said I saw a tweet one time, right? And I was shocked about it. I said, oh, so this is a discussion. And it was a woman talking about how a guy tweeted, actually, he said, it's funny that so women don't actually like dating older men. He goes, I thought that they did. And then a woman now responded, she was like, yeah, I always find it creepy. I'm like, so of all the women in your age bracket, you don't want to chat to them. Why do you want to come and talk to me? And I remember thinking, wow, amazing, because I certainly didn't think like that. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't realize that there was actually a movement of people actually paying attention and looking and saying, you know what, this is flipping weird. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, is it that what's wrong with you that you can't talk to anybody in your age range? And that's how I feel, though. I feel like that. I feel like often when you go for people that are younger than you and like to be around people that are constantly, and I don't know if it's correct, it's the correct way of thinking, but that's just how I feel. When you're around people who are younger than you, you're around them because you want to manipulate them. Like in a relationship, like I just feel like that's it. I might be wrong, but because what else is it? You prefer them than to those your age or within your range. Why is that? You know what I mean? And oftentimes when you check the why, it's for reasons that stem from manipulation and insecurity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think people really need to have sense. Nobody's even talking about Lori at all and how she's feeling, or like, it's again, how dare you live? Women cannot get a break, brother.
No.
Like, we can't make any kind of decisions for ourselves. Nobody even cares how we feel. It's constantly, how does this one feel? How does this one feel? Like, she can't even enter a relationship and people are like, oh, bless. Well, that's a shame. Yeah. It's already blaming her.
Yeah, like, already. People, I done seen too many, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And I'm like, why is she? Matter of fact, I saw a meme. I saw something that said, Nick Cannon is out here with
27 kids.
27 kids and got 18 more on the way, and Lori's the hoe.
Lori's the hoe, yeah. For wanting to break up with her man at 25 or any age even. How dare you not want to be stuck to a man for the rest of
the especially as young as she is, like, girl, you better know if you want to be committed to one of these fools before you make a leap like that, especially if that's something you aspire to.
You know what I mean?
No, that's not something you enter in lightly just because this guy is looked at as like the guy next door. No,
exactly.
No, we're not doing that. Take your time and know and be for certain.
Yeah,
you got to live with these
heralded
decisions.
right now. They should be like, oh, that's great, and this should be an example for other young girls, and it is young girls, because I know you're watching them, and I know that you're telling the patriarchy to fuck themselves. I'm seeing it. We're seeing the awakening, the rising. So even though we've got the men chatting shit, Lori did what she did. Sweetie
she's a boss.
She's a goddamn boss, and I know the rest of you are looking, and she's setting an example. So that's right. Follow that. No matter what they do, they keep trying us. They keep trying to chat, but just ignore them. They're like white noise. Don't listen to them. Continue to choose yourself. If the relationship is not working for you, tell them to go on. Doesn't matter. Like,
I love it.
Doesn't matter at all.
I love it. Women ain't dealing with it no more. Women are sick and tired, and I for certain am. It's funny because, like, if it had been the opposite, if it had been like some 25-year-old guy, some young guy, and some woman, older or not, trying to pressure him to get married, the world would have been like, he's young. He got his whole life. He's a bachelor. He's only in his 20s. Everybody would have understood. Everybody would have understood.
Because it doesn't matter the role the woman is playing. It doesn't matter what side she's on. Whichever side she's on is the side that is a problem.
Yeah.
So whether she's the one who's the sugar baby or she's the sugar mommy,
it's her fault. Always. Yeah. It's a doggone shame.
No, we don't have any situation behind it's your fault. So they don't like, and it's crazy because you can again still say the trauma and the lineage of the divine feminine. Like, you can't imagine the amount of well, you can, you're a woman, we're living with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a constant attack on your body, on your being and your mind, and just constantly from all angles. Like, you're constantly having to bat to get your sanity to even be able to think straight for a second. You know what I mean? Because everyone's always trying to advise you against yourself, basically. Anything for self is kind of is advised against for a woman. It's just it's a huge battle, really, to really kind of like balance and be solid in yourself.
Right. It's crazy.
So, yeah, man.
No, but that's why it's important that we have to, like, we got to define those things. That's why these spaces are important.
Yeah.
That's why these spaces are important. Yeah. But the divine feminine, like you said, man, she's waking up.
I mean, she's rising. She's absolutely rising. But I hope you guys have been okay. I don't know, this episode's short again. Are we doing another short one, or is it long?
Yeah, no, it's short. It's nice and sweet.
I like it like that though too. Tell us guys as well. Do you prefer the shorter ones or the longer episodes?
Yeah, let us know.
We're just trying to bring this to you. I'm currently away. This is why I've got a different background. I'm in London town, and it is literally early morning here. And in Jazz's place, she is in ATL, right? And it's like early hours in the morning. So this is what we literally have to do to bring you this service.
Right.
It's that we're making it work, man, in completely different time zones.
Yeah.
But guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know how you're feeling as well. How do you feel about dating older men? Have you dated older men? Do you still date older men? What are your reasons? And I know obviously as women we tend to say, they're more mature than younger men, because obviously they're stable. They know what they want. We understand that, but you have to look at where they're coming from when they're dating you as well. You know what I mean? Because just because you're feeling those things from them, what is it that they're seeing you as? Come chat to us at the Pow Podcast, Instagram, Twitter. We're also on TikTok. And we will speak to you next time.